Hey guys, welcome back to Automobilista 2. We've had a release candidate drop overnight, which has given us the Gesamtstrecke, the combined course of the Nürburgring, 1971 layout. We're in a McLaren M23, got our McLaren socks on. We've obviously driven this circuit before in the original Assetto Corsa, which is a bit of a benefit, at least we know the layout. As we turn left onto the southern loop, the Gesamtstrecke. Little awkward transition there. The car just sort of unloads. And here we go. So we're trying to do a reasonable speed lap. And Reza just do a wonderful job with all their circuits, especially the historic stuff. They really make you feel like you are there where you're supposed to be, which in this case is 1971. As we go around the shed there, the right-left chicane. Look at the people lining the barriers there, or well, not really barriers, just it's a wooden plank in the ground with some chicken wire. So a catch fence that won't really catch anything. So we've got an in-game here of April 1971, so probably autumn time, I'm assuming, in Europe. There's little details like the leaves on the side of the ground there is just amazing. You see them on the inside of some of the corners. So that's really cool. So we make our way down to the bottom end of the circuit. Down towards there should be some housing down here, and there is. Looks absolutely little church on the right-hand side, or left-hand side there. This right-hander, a lot tighter than what it looks, so you've got to slow the car right down. And avoid those big curbs as well, they will grab the retro cars. Make our way now back up the hill, back up to the highest point of the circuit, back to where we started, also the highest point of the southern loop. It just looks and feels amazing. So many details to look at. Obviously got to concentrate on driving the car. The hairpin at the top of the hill here. A few leaves on the inside there, so nice little touch. And the left hander now brings us back onto the sort of last straight of the Gesamtstrecke. Back to where we started. The road does loop back around here, and you can actually drive the southern loop separately, which is really cool. You don't have to do the whole Nürburgring. So when we come up here, there's a left-hander that banks back onto the Nordschleife, the transition. You can just turn off to the right, just coming up just there. That loops back around on itself to give you the southern loop. So make our way onto the Nordschleife. And our first look at the 1971 layout of the track that we've probably driven quite a bit, but it looks so different. The reference points are gone on some corners. Obviously no graffiti, that probably came a lot later. Well, maybe some graffiti, but certainly not to the level that you have these days. And again, really careful to avoid these big high curbs, especially in the old car. It gets very unsettled. I never realised there was a hotel on the left hand side there. That may be gone these days, or it may still be there. I haven't really paid attention, to be quite fair. Up over the rise there, just nice and careful, don't want to really set any lap records. And again, a lot less trees obviously. Whatever this is, 40-50 years ago. So you can see a lot more of the surrounding countryside. Especially down the bottom of the circuit here, you see a lot more in the background than what you ever can in the current version, which is really cool. And we make our way down the hill. One of my favourite sections of the track here as it goes down and comes up like one big roller coaster. So again, so the layout, you remember the layout if you've driven the current Nordschleife. So it's some corners are probably slightly different camber or slightly different profile over the years. If you look over the valley there, it's absolutely cool. Can't see that in the modern version. So yeah, the circuit's basically what you remember. Just a few little changes here and there, and it is a lot different not having your modern reference points. Yeah, you might have a piece of barrier or a certain tree or whatever that you break out. Like down here, you can totally see that everything going on down in the forest there. You just cannot see that in the modern version because all the trees have grown out. It just gives it a totally different perspective. I can see the next part of the Nürburgring off to the left there in my peripheral vision. So I'm trying not to look ahead too much at all the things. I'm trying to concentrate on the road, but it's very hard not to just sort of check out what's going on around you. So cool, so cool. Just an amazing job. Oh, a bit loosey-goosey there. Yeah, it's just amazing how taking out a few trees and a few barriers just totally changes your reference point for everything. As we now come on to the back straight, 11 kilometres into the 28. This bit feels a bit different. It feels like it sort of comes around to the left a bit more. Don't know if that's just me or if that's how it actually was. It does feel a little bit different profile to the modern Nordschleife. This bit all feels about the same, but that first part felt a little bit different. Yeah, it could just be perception because of the lack of trees or different barriers that you're not quite used to. See the off-road there, which obviously spears off to some other part of town to make our way up to the first carousel. Which we'll go into, why not? Lovely. A lot of lumps and bumps. Nice stuff. And up to my probably least confident section of the Nürburgring. Don't know why. I think because a lot of the corners coming up look quite similar to my eye. So I sometimes get myself a little bit confused as to which corner's coming up. Again, we've still got plenty of spectators along the course here for us. Hopefully we'll see some of the camping grounds as you get down to the bottom part of the circuit. I think hopefully we'll be doing a race here in Gravel Trap Legends very soon on the full course. I think in some old Beetles, which will be interesting to say the least. Might be a very, very long lap in those cars. A bump there, car handles it fairly well. So just an absolutely beautiful recreation, this track. Never ever get sick of driving Nordschleife. Definitely my all-time favourite circuit. Done plenty of laps here over the years in various games. And this is just nostalgia overload. Absolutely brilliant. Onto Carousel 2. And onto the final right-hander before the big long straight. So I'm not sure about the gearing here. I've only just done a default setup, just loaded the car up just for the video today. No setup really whatsoever. We've got all the hedges up here. Wind the car out into its fifth gear. And again, Dave, it's just me, but it does. I feel like they've flattened this out. It has to be. It's definitely not as roller coastery. You know, when you sat back at the start of that straight there, you can literally looks like a roller coaster. So they've definitely flattened this bit out over the years, for sure. Alright guys, there we go. So get onto your release candidate, download that if you haven't already. And I hope you enjoyed that lap of the Gesamtstrecke. Enjoy guys, cheers.